Please find a comfortable posture for sitting, for being. Mm. We focus a lot of this work on awareness. Sometimes we talk about beingness as distinct from awareness or as an additional kind of practice, but they're not separate things. The awareness will fold upon itself. The awareness folds upon itself into beingness. Because awareness still kind of feels like it takes work a little bit. It's like, I gotta be aware. I gotta be aware that I'm aware. Like there's still this like thing that you can feel like you gotta do about it. Now it is just being aware. But because we call it awareness, because it has a relativity, it has a relational quality. There's things that you're aware of. And the important part about the awareness is, at least in this talk tonight, the awareness is constant, even though all the things that we're aware of keep changing. And so the reason we weight awareness so heavily is because it's the recognition that our beingness, our self, is immovable, changeless, unending, clear, independent, full, complete, never not incomplete. But as we start to recognize the value, the limitlessness of this awareness, as we investigate, we turn the awareness toward itself, it actually stops being aware altogether. It leaves the picture. It also leaves everything else. And so we can think of that as beingness, where there's no distinction or separation in any way. There's no way to say non-beingness. Now, in English, we can do that. But in terms of what we're talking about, non-dual, this thing when awareness has wrapped itself up transcends language. It transcends any relational quality whatsoever. And sitting here practicing is that wrapping back up process, wrapping back up the divided mind, the separating mind of awareness and her various objects. Sitting is wrapping that process back up of awareness and her divided objects. And as we slowly start to go, oh yeah, that object, yeah, I can let that go for a little bit. Oh yeah, that object, I can let that go for a little bit too. I can just take it or leave it. If it's here, great. If it's not here, great. We got to get to that place with our body, our emotions, our own thoughts. That's why the practice can feel challenging, because it's hard to get to that place. What's going to happen to me if I'm going to take it or leave it about my own body? And so there's no rush, there's no pressure to force that upon anyone's understanding. All we're doing is collecting. We're collecting an understanding that if we are still believing that the body needs to be clung to, so be it. But as you investigate awareness, you investigate that the awareness is unchanging, unmoving, self-luminous, never not incomplete, independent, limitless. As you start to realize that the self, the awareness, is those qualities, that they aren't qualities, it is those things. It starts to get easy to just let things be. They can come or go because the self has everything it needs to be. You have everything you need to be. This isn't like are all my resources and needs met type of feeling either. That's a body problem. But a self, the actual self, has that. And so we're investigating that you're more awareness than you are the body. And even as you listen to these words, the meditation begins. It's begun because you're reflecting the awareness. When I really look at it, think about it, consider it, that's more what I am than the body. The awareness is more constant, more steady, immovable. It's just there. Why am I identifying with this thing that's constantly changing? The body, the thoughts. You're just considering that for yourself. I don't need to convince you. The work is happening. The awareness is wanting to know itself. That's why you show up. The process is already in motion. It's been in motion forever. And there will be these glimpses, these openings, these awakenings. I'm calling them glimpses. These awakenings where you do feel that the awareness and all her separate objects wrap themselves back up. And there's just this thing beyond words. And it stops becoming glimpses at some point because the awareness stops dividing itself into consciousness. It just stays as beingness. That's the theory. And now the practice of recognizing, is that your experience? Is that what your lived and breathed experience is unfolding? Sometimes we're just openly observing, but there may come a feeling in you where it's like you want to scrutinize, you want to prove it right or prove it wrong. Don't run from that feeling either. There's no should happening here. How I should be when I meditate. You're just considering what is. And you might just ask yourself at any point tonight, is there awareness right now? You have to call yourself awareness. You can just in this moment try it on. Is there awareness right now? And that should initiate a looking, confirmation. Yeah, it's there. It's undeniably there. Even if I said no, there would be omission that it was there. because there had to be an awareness to say yes or no. Is there awareness right now? Is there awareness right now? Let that idea permeate, saturate whatever you end up being aware of. So if there's some objects in the awareness, body sensations, thoughts, things that you might be seeing with your eyes or hearing with your ears, these are objects that can enter awareness. You also enter this idea. Is awareness here right now? And you let that idea enter your consciousness. Let it saturate the experience so you can find out if it's true. You may find it's always true. Is awareness here now? Feel. Feel through your own observation directly, moment to moment, as needed. Remind yourself of your investigation, of your curiosity. Is awareness here right now? Whether the distortion of the mind broadcasting and broadcasting signals, thoughts, and ideas about anything and everything, whether the distortion pierce through that veil of inner noise with the simple question: is awareness here right now? It may only open for a part of a moment, and then you forget again, back in the noise and distortion. Or it may open in greater and greater depth and capacity. It's still the same awareness. Is awareness here right now? You can think of it like an ever dawning. There is no setting to this light source. It is ever dawning. Awareness is self-luminous. And you're coming to understand that for yourself. When you ask and then confirm, is awareness here right now? That it is always dawning. Is awareness here right now? No need to look back. No need to consider what was or what will be. No need to hold on to it. Because in the future, you can just ask yourself again. Just really figure out right now, is that awareness changing in any way? Or is it the same? It feels exactly the same every time you look for it, every time you come to know. Is awareness here right now? The awareness dawns like a light source, but it was never not dawning. Even as all the various things arrive in consciousness, there she is, dawning in her brightness, shining, illumining every single object right now. You do not need logic or deduction or reason. You have this moment to confirm always. Is awareness here right now? You might not have to ask. You can just dwell, remain in the recognition of it, a form of fortitude, solitude, that even as objects enter and exit, awareness remains. Thoughts, emotions, sensations enter and exit. Awareness remains right here, right now. Outside time, outside space. For even those things enter and exit awareness. Perceive, perceive for yourself how steady and unmoving awareness is. It needs no name, no words, no pointing at. It is beyond the word awareness. It is independent of the word beingness. Perhaps that's what you are, as you've been here the whole time, just like awareness. Let it be wrapped back up. Yourself, itself, the self. Relax from the practice.